If you're looking for professional day trading education and high level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I have been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to give you exactly that free high level day trading education, all for free, right here on YouTube and on X. And we have got a really good one, great lessons today. I'm going to show you how to manage and watch both markets at the same time so you don't make a silly mistake, as well as some other key points and tips for your trading. Give me a sec. I'm going to fire up these charts. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. I know we did. And let's rock and roll. So, first trade of the day was on Qs, and I was day trading live with my members, and I do this twice per week, and I manage two screen shares at the same time. So there's a lot going on. So generally speaking, I usually size down on these days, and Qs long was a beautiful long right into our level. Very quick long, but overall a nice one. Just basically lessons like this going long on extended charts, even though we don't necessarily want to. And sure, you can look at it in hindsight and say, well, it went up. Yeah, it did. It surely did. But generally, you want to be looking for the short, which it did end up selling off quite nicely. And we did nail the short as well. But on this trade here on Qs, market opens up, dips down, coming into our 519.25 level. For those of you that are just joining me here, you've never seen this channel before. These blue levels are placed prior to the market open at 9 a.m. every single day. And then I develop trade plans surrounding these levels with contingency plans and the whole nine. So no matter what happens, we're prepared for it. So the trade plan was to, when the market opens up, either it comes up in here, we would execute the short. That didn't happen. So it comes down, races down into our support level. We execute. As it pops up, we pay ourselves because it came right into a natural area of resistance. Easy for it to fail there. And then as it comes down, forcing ourselves to add that one more time, even though we may not want to, but it's the idea of strategy. And if we are above support, we will go long into support. And the reason why we do this, and I've discussed this a couple times this week, is to take your thoughts out of it. Our thoughts, our perception is going to be flawed. We will see things that aren't necessarily there. It's almost like you'll start to develop confirmation bias and everything else. You need to get rid of that. And the way to get rid of that is through strategy. So executing and adding that second time, paying ourselves on that push up into resistance. Beautiful trade. Nice little trade, walking away with 40 bucks. Very small position on this one. And then our main focus here, give me a sec, I want to clean up this chart, is on SPY. So SPY was really nice. So again, what we were looking for was actually the short. And it's a way to get involved short without it popping at the open. Okay, so this is a little bit different of a method. So as it comes down and comes back up here, that's where I am starting to get involved with this trade. Now you're going to see entries that are way up here and it looks kind of crazy. The issue is sometimes when you trade options, but you're executing uh, on the stock chart, you can, especially on Fridays, you can get involved with meltdown, time decay. But that's why you start in very small. It's part of my sizing and management strategy that is all included with Tricktrades. So I teach members how to do this, how to size appropriately so you don't feel the pressure and you don't make a piss poor decision. So as it comes up, sure, SPY is coming up, right? But you're going to see ads there. And I'm adding not because, and this is the main lesson of today's video, even though SPY is breaking a level of resistance and it's looking strong and it's looking like it's about to squeeze, while so many people are freaking out, if you take a look at Qs cannot get over this range. Even later on where it does, where it technically gets over, I want to show you guys what confirmation is. So that's the level. Do you see here? Do you see this first green candle, how it pops through? A lot of people will stop out there. And you can tell by the volume, a lot of people did because they're working this short. There's so many areas for these shorts to get involved with this chart because it's an extended chart. The second candle doesn't even break those highs, even though it's a green candle. Next candle red, and that's where it comes down, bumps its head, and starts to fail. This is about really watching not just the chart that you are in, that you've executed on, but that's why I trade both SPY and Qs at the same time, because you have to. You can't just trade one without watching the other. If you do, you'll make piss poor decisions. And as a little side note, one of the reasons why I'm going to be holding on to this, and I don't want to stop out until I know that Qs is coming up, because Qs at this level up here early in the day, if it came up there, that's my reset trade. So I would chew back the loss, eat a red trade, but I know I've got this trade in my back pocket. However, what we don't want happening is something along these lines. Give me one quick sec. We don't want to stop out on SPY because it comes here. So we stop out, confirms higher. We got to get out, right? And Qs comes here and then bails. I won't get that execution. I won't be able to get my reset trade. Therefore, I would end the day red. This is why you see the consistency that you do on this channel that is unparalleled anywhere else. And this is all done live. This is also done with trade plans given prior to the market open. And we all take these trades. That's why we have the consistency that we do, because we're playing chess and we're not playing checkers. We need to think ahead, and you need to do things a certain way. There is a methodical way to execute these trades. A lot of people are simply button clickers. They just click buttons. They think they know what they're doing, but they don't. And that's why they end up with so many red days. It's a matter of checklists and if then scenarios. That's what I call them. If it does this, I will then do that. And with this, I cannot stop out on SPY until Qs confirms that it wants to push higher. Because if it does break this range on confirmation, it will, mark my words, it'll come up and test these levels. Now, it might not test them perfectly. That's not what I'm saying. But it'll come into an area for a reasonable, acceptable amount of risk for me to start executing the trade and get back green, even if it doesn't want to touch those levels. But I need to wait for Qs to confirm that it wants to go higher in order to stop out on SPY. That is not going to be a true scenario every day. Sometimes it's reverse. Sometimes we'll be watching SPY and Qs is the leader, or SPY is the leader and Qs is what we've executed on. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it depends on the day. That's why there's so many variables. That's why you need to keep strategies very simple, which I have a very simple strategy. Now, for those watching this that are very new, you might not see it that way. You might be confused, but it's like learning a new language. And this is why I highly recommend working with a coach that's been there, done this for the past 11 years. So there was one more execution that I did take here. So this is what I was waiting for. So all morning we were waiting for this to break down. And once it broke down and Qs is in this area and it's confirmed lower. So if you look at my crosshairs right where Qs is, it's broke that support and washed lower right here. You see how low Qs is? Well, that's telling me we're done. SPY just needs time to catch up. So as it washes, it pops back up. I call it a head bump, and I execute. That's where I executed my last trade and then paid myself, and then I ran out of time. I ran out of time because I have a shitload of property to manage at my property here in Costa Rica. So I'm very busy during the day. I ran out of time, so I just paid myself executed the ad, paid myself, locked in, and ending that trade with 3,689. I can't see, I'm getting old. Yeah, $3,689 on that trade. Beautiful day, just like yesterday, just like the day before that. So if you want to learn how to come trade like a proven professional and work with a coach that can actually get you there, come to tricktrades.com. If not, that's fine. That's cool. Continue to enjoy my free stuff. That's why it's there. It's just going to take you longer. So if you feel like you have all the time in the world to make this happen, by all means, continue enjoying my free stuff. So I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I do have a main video release coming out on Sunday at 7 p.m. East. I highly recommend that you watch that. It'll be out Sunday at 7 p.m. See you there. Adios, guys.